body seems to quiver and cool, as if disturbed by some presence. An invisible, formless, welcoming presence.
Child. You keep your silence, your composure. Good. This is why I come to you alone, Shadowheart. Only you can help me. Indeed. Welcome. It has been a long road to bring you back to me, but there is more I need of you. Listen closely. This is my sacred proving ground. This is where you shall show me just how much you love me. Then I can embrace you, elevate you, reveal you to your true purpose. Like the dark justiciars of old, you must journey to my innermost sanctum and make a sacrifice in my name. You will become my voice made flesh, to command all who bow to me. Already you have the Spear of Night. Wield it to make the sacrifice.
The final threshold. You made it, Shadowheart. Just as I knew you would. Now all you must do is step forwards, and the rest will prove simple. Nothing that you are not more than capable of. The punishing of a wicked Selûnite. All you have to do is use the spear to end her light. You will become a dark justiciar, blessed with my power. You will become my voice to those who embrace me. And you will be my sword arm against those that would do me harm. She is a test of your loyalty. When you strike this blow, a cleansing of my church will be unleashed, with you as my instrument. You deserve this, Shadowheart. Above all others, I wish all my followers had your spirit. Now onwards, warm my blade with the Selûnite's blood.
Your party is gathered. You are ready, or so you hope. Before Lady Shah, you were nothing. An orphan who could not forget the howl of wolves. She saved your life. She gave you a family. Never before have you found yourself so close to Lady Shah's embrace. The fulfillment of her command is so close now. You must allow nothing to stop you.
You cleared the way for me, true soul. What promising flesh you are. As a reward, I shall let you bear witness to my masterpiece.
This creature does not belong here in the Dark Lady's sacred realm. You could ruin your chance to prove yourself to her.
The Shadowfell, or at least a little pocket of it, repurposed to house the relic. Simple. I followed you. It seems Shah bears a grudge against my master, General Thorm, and so sought to prevent me from entering in his name. Luckily, you were the perfect agent in helping me slip past her defenses. Now the Night Song is within reach. Gladly. And once proceedings begin, please show some wits and do not interfere.
Balthazar, come to add more bars to my cage? Or perhaps to lead this would-be Justicia's blade directly to my heart? I invite you. Heap more sins upon your head. My retribution will be all the sweeter for them.
All this time, and you still fail to appreciate the gifts I bestowed on you, Aelin. Sad to see a thing of beauty not recognize its own worth. But General Thorm, he appreciates you, and he wants you close at hand. So, I am here to whisk you back to him.
Ketherick. I welcome the sight of him after these 100 years. He whose immortality I supply with my very soul.
General Thorm. I'm sure you'll be on your best behavior for him, but just in case, I've taken some precautions. Keep back. It will take quite some concentration to secure Aelin for her little journey.
Do as Shah wishes and you will become her chosen. But the Absolute Cult will know you are its enemy.
Fly at me, you fool! You cannot stop what is to come!
Balthazar has drawn his final rancid breath. A pity it was not my hand that brought it about. Instead, it was you. You, who have come to find the wicked favor of your goddess. Go on! Show me your dagger, your sword, your knife.
My spear, child. Pierce her heart and become my sword hand, my dark Justicia.
Well, well, well. What's that I sense? A spear intended for my heart? Empowered by your goddess, I. Empowered to kill the child of a god. There is much your mistress does not tell you. My death will come at a terrible price. One that you will not grasp until it is too late. Do you know what I am, little assassin? For I know you. A lost child, frightened by wolves in the dark. Much has been promised to you, hasn't it? But what has been taken from you? What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? I sense more in you than you know. Why?
Do not listen, Shadowheart. She seeks to distract, to confuse, to prolong her ugly existence and deny you your destiny. Shut out her words.
Shah speaks now, doesn't she? Dribbles the poison of oblivion in the shell of your ear. I do not hear her words, but I sense her rage.
You must do more than spare me. You must free me. Ketheric Thorpe, once a servant of your goddess, now a faithless wretch, has used me to make himself immortal for 100 years. Free me. Lay a hand upon me in friendship. I will end him. And I will lay your path at your feet. Then you must walk it.
Enough! Close your heart to her craven words. Strike! Strike and rise!
There. I feel her again. Why does she fear truth more than I fear death? Your past is not yet lost. Your future is not yet fixed. Lay a hand on me in friendship, not quite Sharon. And I will fight the battle that has been waiting for me this last century. Then, oh then, we will have much to discuss. Our Lady of Silver, hear me. She who guides the Moon Maiden Selûne, mother of the so-called Night Song. The Night Song is no more! Resplendent. You have given me a great gift, little warrior. Don't you find it oh so curious that you would spurn your dark lady? Perhaps you feel a stirring of the truth already. But that will come later. There is a battle yet to be fought. You have done what we feared was impossible. You have released me from a century of sorrow. Your power is great. So too must be your weapon. You must choose what you will wield. And the Moon Maiden will provide. Thus I have said. Thus will it be so. Are you ready? To kill Ketheric Thorpe.
A shudder of fear runs through you. Lady Shah asked you to prove yourself, and you failed. Yet no pain, no recrimination, only silence. And somehow this strikes you as worse. It is time to leave this place and see what chaos you have unleashed upon Moonrise Towers.
You rejected your duty. You spurned my embrace. Ungrateful child. You could have wielded my spear, carried my voice. Instead, you are nothing, and I will leave you with nothing. All of my children will know you for what you are. You are marked. Now leave, outcast. You are not welcome here.
Forgive me.
You're suffering. You might be surprised, but it pains me to see. Ever since we shared each other's flesh, I've caught you looking at me with lidded eyes. And either like a coward or a fool, you tremble. Perhaps the parasite has weakened you. Or perhaps you still long for my taste. I never promised more than a night. Though I can't deny the lure of your taste. Sweet, yes, but also bitter as ginger. Tempt me. Like the shield bearer and pikeman must train to march their formation in tandem. Very well. I will claim you once you have taken to rest. Enough! I have given you my word. Do not be late.
Lae'Zel appears at your bunk, her eyes raging with desire. You suspect you won't be getting much sleep tonight.
Halt! Ready your weapons, Harpers. Be prepared to strike at my command. You there, friend or foe? You know the criterion exactly. Prove it. Truly? In that case, we could find ourselves to be allies indeed. Me and my Harpers came all the way from Baldur's Gate to end the cult of the Absolute once and for all. And Jaheira, and if our goals align, I may just be pleased to meet you. I'm touched, but I'm already spoken for. Very well. Side by side we'll stand, as we'll rip true souls from a false god. As good a prophecy as any. At the ready, Harpers! In this light, there will be victory. In this light, we will avenge the fallen! The time has come. Ketheric will taste of death at last.
You. What have you done? What have you done to me? Impossible. You are a thrall, a slave. You serve the Absolute. You serve me. Bow, you dog. Bow! The prism. You've had it all this time, you worm. You will bow before me. And if you will not bow, you will break. You.
How good it is to see you again, Ketheric. At last you found a godmaster that suits you, it seems.
Aelin, the thief. You stole Isabel from me, and now you think you'll take my life in the bargain?
You dare to speak her name? After your crimes innumerable, you would evoke her before me!
Enough! This ends, here and now. At last.
He will crumble at the power of your touch. Give him all you have. The gods fight at our side!
Enough. My lord beckons me. You must return to your prison, and my daughter must be reclaimed.
Your daughter? Isabel.
You will fall as sure as she. This has only begun.
The General will call that a tactical retreat, I'm sure. But you have him on the run. That thing he summoned was illithid. Follow it below and find him, before he has a chance to subdue the Night Song again. I certainly do. Theory and supposition, none of which will help us in the fight to come. Ketheric must die, and the Absolute with him. We will work out the details as they rear their ugly heads. Lead and I follow, Commander.
The hole yawns back at you, impossibly wide. A single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This is an illithid colony.
No longer a background murmur, the presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We've found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes, with cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I've played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough, but what of the astral prism? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketheric. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge, but you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews again, again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketheric, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane.
The Lash of Ball!
Testament of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard. The Absolute.
Helm preserve us.
You wag your word flap in vain, Alderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketheric, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way!
There you are, as predicted. What is it, I wonder, that draws one toward death like a moth to light? You could have run away, absconded with the prism. The one thing that could prevent me from fulfilling my destiny. But the lure of one's destiny is irresistible, isn't it? Perhaps you hope to learn your place in history before you are erased from it. A bright flash of clarity before the snuffing out. Your place is to die so that I might finally live. Let us speak plainly. My Lord Merkel gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. my daughter's life returned. Her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more devoted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers, but for Myrkul, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now. And then I will raise you as my servant. With pleasure. What a fool you are. You cannot kill me. I am eternal. Myrkul, Lord of Bones, I am here. I am ready. I am yours.
Hello, Death. I like your hat.
Impossible. Death cannot take me. I am its master. My lord, hear me. Nothing. I am forsaken. You have no idea what you've done. Isabel.
Now, we pick our way toward our fates, unleashed.
You have my sword. My fealty. Do what you must. Then we fly this foul place.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Remarkable. Truly. And now the picture comes together. The Absolute is neither god nor man. It is the Elder Brain you saw, held here by those three against its will. The crown it wears controls it, and these stones control the crown. It had a temporary reprieve, but a welcome one. With a brain on its way to the city, its influence here is weakened. The crown's markings suggest it was forged in Netheril, an ancient empire whose mastery over magic rivaled that of the gods. It is a crown of domination. The stones were taken from its crest. They are nether stones, imbued with the ability to control the wearer of the crown. The crown's Netherese magic must be the true source of the parasite's abilities. This must be what elevates their potential. If the crown can do this to the parasite, I dare not imagine what it is doing to the brain. I believe you fought and defeated an avatar of Merkel, the god of necromancy. A remarkable feat. Ketheric was Merkel's chosen. I know Lord Enver Gortash, an arms dealer and a slaver. He is a worshipper of Bane, the god of tyranny. The other is a mystery to me, but the way she spoke, it is most likely she follows Baal, god of murder. Which means the Absolute is a front for the gods of death, and our enemies are chosen of the dead three. Bane, Baal, and Merkel. The Tyrant, the Assassin, and the Necromancer. They are known to pick from their most devout followers a chosen, granting them incredible powers. Each one alone would be a formidable enemy. But working together and controlling an Elder Brain, I dare not imagine what they might achieve. We prepare for the fight of our lives, and the lives of everyone in Faerun. The army of the Absolute is marching on Baldur's Gate. Within the city, an Elder Brain, brimming with power, ready to turn everyone within its reach into mind flayers. All it needs is an order the Death God's chosen are on the cusp of giving. We must wrest control of the brain from the chosen before that happens. We must take their stones. Our chances of success are slim, but we must not fail. If we fail, everything ends. I will be your shield, but you must be the sword. And when the chance comes to strike, you must take it, for there may only be one chance.
Aelin! Isabel! My love! You were dead. I saw your body. I'm here. And so are you. And my father, he can't hurt us any longer. I dreamt every night that you'd come back to me. But somehow it was all a nightmare Dawn would undo.
I had no dreams at all. Nothing but darkness. And when I woke, my father said you were dead.
His soul was poisoned by the god of death. His sick devotion ruined him. But for all his sins, he brought you back to me. Are you all right?
I will be. And you?
In this moment, I want for nothing.
Ah, it's you, isn't it? You're the talk of this place, you know. I'm Isabel. And this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew. And we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? That's a very good question. I know some parts. Some I haven't quite figured out. But I'd like to tell you everything I know, if you'll have us at your camp later. I am. And I'm glad he's dead. But this is precisely what I want to speak to you about later. It'll keep. I promise.
I gave my word, and I will keep it. By the fires of your camp's hearth, we will discuss all we must. Now, you will leave us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Aelin! We'll see you later.
Don't say a word. Just listen. A parasite grips my mind. My own people hunt me. But I am gnawed by an even greater torment. You. My thoughts are hallowed ground. Yet you've crawled your way in. Uninvited. I'm obsessed by the ground under your feet, and the wind over your head. I see your face just before I sleep and after I wake. I ask myself, are you worthy? Shakvonastu. There is only one way for you to prove it. Don't be ridiculous. We fight. I test you in battle. Dance with me. Bleed with me. Bruise me so that you might possess me. Go on. Best me. Incredible. I should be humiliated. I should know the shame of defeat. I am Lae'Zel. But you are just still. You were stronger. I was steel. And you were silver. You are mine. Say the words. Shakvonastu, source of my bruises.
It is time we spoke about your heritage. There's a debt I must repay. There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget. Shah's embrace is something that was forced upon you. It is not your true nature. Until you weren't. Do you think it was but a brief lapse? A moment of madness? No. I think you finally listened to your heart.
When you freed me from the Shadowfell, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain, his inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You, tethered to two others someplace distant. Let me help you remember, so there will be no doubt.
A memory appears at the forefront of your mind. You'll remember that it is a common rite among Selûne's followers to send their children off into the woods to find their way home. Perhaps this time it had gone awry.
You already know who he is. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood? He is your father. And he lives still. As does your mother. I felt them, bound to you. They were seized by Shah's followers, same as you. Only you were to be remolded for their purposes, while your parents... I sense they have suffered greatly in the years since. But now the veil has been parted. You know what must be done, I trust. You will have to face your abductors in their very lair, in Baldur's Gate. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. But they will all be enemies now. There is one more way in which I can help you. You have been forewarned. And now you shall be forearmed. You will remember this spear, no doubt. It was to be the instrument of my death. Now, it will become a parting gift in exchange for my life. For her purposes, perhaps. Shah is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well enough. I felt the spear call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shah calls her own, Selûne has equal claim to. They are one and the same. Their power is matched and mirrored. Take it. You will need it. But what you do with it, that will be up to you. Same as before. A debt repaid. You gave me my life back. Now go and claim your own. We are. Good fortune on your road ahead. It will not be easy, but it will certainly be enlightening. One last thing. Your parents have been in the hands of Shah's followers for some 40 years. It must take tremendous will for mortals to hold out that long. See that their sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
She speaks pure heresy. Or so you would have once thought. But you can deny it no longer. A new presence empowers you. You felt it ever since the shadow fell. Selûne. Pain surges from the wound on your hand. But no memory comes with it. No lesson. Just agony.
Shah toys with you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take action.
Take action, yes. But freeing your parents will take time. Perhaps there is something more immediate you can do. Something symbolic to put Shah behind you for good. A long, sleepless night awaits. But come dawn, you will have reclaimed a little piece of yourself.
Here. Now. If it weren't apparent, it should be. I'm not keen on such outward displays of our flesh bond. Come. Let me taste. You are Jacques Vonache Dew, source of my bruises.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping and yes sir, no sir, rip and cut your throat, sir.
Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prison bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
I itch to peel you, to split your skin, to see your skull shine in the light. Little tyrant. Lucky for you, I harvested a whole family of living flesh in Rivington at high sun. They will sate my blade thirst tonight. Oh, but tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, my blades will thirst again.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away. The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison, and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. Lady Shah sent you on this mission. Did she know that this is where it would lead? And when you complete it, what will you do then? Will you liberate the true souls from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? Your blood swims hot at the very prospect. You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
Hear me. Gather. The reckoning is upon us. The city thirsts for domination. March. Join power.
Whatever that thing is, it's not going to last much longer.
Before you do anything, I am your ally. We are in danger.
You are in danger indeed, Mind Flayer. What the hells is happening?
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved the Asima Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackheath's wrath upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me. The god. Destroy the god. They prevent me from subduing their master. Do it, now!
Aid an illicit against Githyanki. We cannot. We must not!
Your blind loyalty will be your undoing, Lae'Zel. Fight with me, for your own survival. Together, we can turn the tide. Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
It's obscene. To owe my life to a damned geich. No more lies, no more tricks. I will have answers!
I was someone once. Someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals, unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed, and they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Indeed, his hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an Elder Brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you. Not all mind flayers are alike. I have always valued freedom above all else. In my past life, and present, it has been a burning need within me for as long as I can remember. Prince Orpheus, son of the first leader of the Githyanki.
Orpheus? Impossible. He was slain by Justil Kithrak himself.
Quite possible, I assure you. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive-mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him, in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive.
I don't understand. The histories claim the prince was burned to ash in the skies.
Your histories are fabrications. The prince was not killed. As you can very well see, he was in prison. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. A very good question. One that I have been unable to answer. That Orpheus lives at all is ruinous to Blackith. She has done everything in her power to keep his existence a secret. That Gortash and the Chosen found out about it. This is impossible to explain. But it was important enough to them that Gortash sent me to retrieve it. The moment I found it, I felt it change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prison was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus, and find allies in the outer world. You. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, you would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched Illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. You are already more Illithid than you realize. It has improved you. You seek to reverse an inevitable process. A process of evolution. When I first escaped from the Elder Brain, I too railed against the change. But the longer I have inhabited this form, the more it has grown on me. Even if my original body remained intact after I transformed, I would not return to it. Doing so would only impose limitations. As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You too should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. I understand. Let us hope then that your present self will be sufficient to deal with 3 gods of death and a giant magically enhanced Elder Brain. But in case you change your mind... look after it. Use it when you're ready to evolve. You or your allies. It has vitality enough for you all. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The Brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the Brain, and bring it under our control.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the Archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. The seed and the sower. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his Illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a gay hive mind. A talent like that makes the prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. I'm listening.